First, I would say that the important thing to remember is that we do not know what is and is not possible. And you will frequently hear people say that SARS coronavirus 2 is endemic, it is impossible to eradicate it, it is impossible to exterminate it. I don't believe either of these things is actually settled yet. All right. So I think we should very much focus on exterminating SARS coronavirus 2. And here are the reasons. SARS coronavirus 2 will probably always kill a percentage of the people that it infects. And I say this based on all the data we have now. There really isn't any counter data suggesting that the virus will change to suit us. The data for boosters that I will be sharing comes from the FDA meeting of the 17th of September. That data suggests that we are using the term fully vaccinated incorrectly. No one is fully vaccinated. And in fact, we do not really know at this stage what fully vaccinated would look like. What we have evidence for is waning immunity. And there are different degrees. And I think this is where people differ. In general, there seem to be two schools of thought. One that I would call the extreme consequentialist school, where if a person does not die, then the outcome is essentially less meaningful. And the other that I would say is the maybe chess player or trying to look one step ahead mentality. And I would very much side with looking one step ahead. And what I mean by that is, as time passes after vaccination, we see that the amount of protection decreases to around 50% after 5 months in the data that's presented. But the amount of protection against death remains constant at somewhere around 90%. And this is the dichotomy that is catching people. Because SARS coronavirus 2 is fundamentally a moving target. It is evolving and it is changing. And if we look at the path of change, the virus has got faster and better at reproducing very consistently throughout the outbreak. And based on the available data, we do not have any evidence to suggest that this will be otherwise in the future. As for the concept of a booster itself, there are very few vaccines of all the ones that we take where we only take 2 doses. All the other vaccines we take generally 3 or more doses of these. And we do this because we are trying to move toward a position where vaccine immunity is durable enough that you don't have to pay extra attention, durable enough that it will last for years or a lifetime. So with additional vaccine doses, we are essentially trying to move from what is considered reasonable protection to a position of certainty. I am able to, or I choose to, take a very narrow position defined only by the scientific data. And I think when you widen the scope of your concerns and bring in other factors, then it can lead to conclusions that you would not draw necessarily from looking at the data. And I would speculate that that is what is happening here. Based on the raw data, yeah, I would say that universal boosting and possibly 3 or 4 doses look as though they would be very beneficial in slowing the spread of the virus and in bringing about the end of the virus faster. I think the social justice issue is real, in that every extra dose in the US is potentially one fewer dose in another part of the world. But I would go back and say that I don't think anyone is fully vaccinated right now. And at some point, we need to get somewhere fully vaccinated. And so, if not here, then where? And if not now, then when? The logistics are in place to make it at least possible here, whereas it may not be possible or as facile other places.